everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video today I'm going to show you how I created this Lady Deadpool look. If you're interested in seeing how I did it, then just keep on watching. First I'm going to take a latex bald cap and I'm going to pop that straight over the top of my ponytail. I've already got it positioned into the spot that I want to keep it in for the whole tutorial. So I'm going to lightly mark out where it's sitting on my head so that I can cut a little hole into the bald cap so I can put my ponytail through. Then you want to feed the ponytail through the hole of the bald cap and then pull the bald cap down onto your head like you would usually apply it. This bald cap is quite long, so I am going to stretch it down nice and tight all over my head so I can get it creaseless, and then I'm going to adjust my ponytail and tuck in all of my little baby hairs at the back so none of them will get stuck in the latex later on. Then it's time to trim off any excess that you don't need. I'm going to start by cutting straight down the center and then removing it on either side. We are going to be leaving our ears on the inside of the bald cap, so remember, don't cut those out. Just leave yourself enough for you to comfortably stick it down all around the sides of your ear and your face. Then I'm going to tie my hair up in a bun just to get it out of the way because I don't want to get any latex in it. I'm just going to pin that up so it's nice and safe. I'm then going to take some liquid latex and pour that into a bowl to adhere the bald cap. Starting with the perimeter of my face, I'm going to use that to anchor the bald cap down. So I'm going to take a bath sponge that I've ripped to pieces and use that to stipple a thin layer of latex. I'm then going to pull the bald cap down tightly so there's no creases in it, and then I'm just going to pat that down so it sets. Once that's dry, I'm going to start on the ear area and the neck area. You want to just peel that back and apply some liquid latex all the way around to the back of your head. I didn't have anyone to help me with this, so I had to apply it by myself, but I kind of missed all my baby hairs, which was good. You could also use Vaseline to keep them nice and protected from the latex as well. You can kind of just press that down firmly for a few seconds until it starts to adhere. Then you want to run around the whole entire perimeter of your face to really blend in the edges of that bald cap. It's going to have a quite harsh line, so you really need to stipple a few layers of this on, maybe 2 to 3 coats. Once that's dry, I then go around it again with a thickened latex just to make sure. So what I've got here is some liquid latex and about a teaspoon of flour. I'm going to take that on a spatula and really thickly apply that around the border of the face. Then using the same spatula, you want to just start lightly scraping back any excess that you don't need. You don't want to build up too much of a thick layer. You want it purely to just really nicely blend out the bald cap so you can't tell where it ends and where your skin starts. I'm then going to set all of that in place with a translucent powder to make sure that it's no longer tacky, because latex can dry quite sticky sometimes. I'm then going to be looking at a few different reference photos, and I'm going to take a white eyeliner pencil and just map out the bottom of my mouth open. I decided to do that to make it look a little bit more feminine, and then I'm going to be looking at a reference of the recent Deadpool film for the eye shape. Then you want to take a plastic bag if you have lighter hair like I do. So I need to roll my hair up into a bun and take that plastic bag and pop it straight over the top. And then you need to pull the plastic bag down and tuck it inside the bald cap so it sits securely on your head. I know this looks a little bit crazy, but you really don't want to get paint in your hair, and this is the best solution that I have found. So once you've got your hair nice and covered, then you can move on with the painting. I'm taking a foundation brush and a bright red from Snazaroo, and I'm just going to start straight on the center of my head and working outwards to create a nice red base. And as you guys can see, the stippling texture really gives a gritty look, and it doesn't show any harsh line of the edge of the bald cap, which I'm really loving at the moment. When it comes to painting around your hair, you can get up nice and close next to the plastic bag because it's tucked inside the bald cap. You won't risk being able to paint your hair at all. So then I'm going to move on to a smaller brush and fill in the bottom of the mask as well. Switching to a strapless shirt, I'm going to start on the body now. I'm taking my white eyeliner pencil and I'm going to be looking at a reference photo of Wanda Wilson, which is Lady Deadpool, and she has these harnesses on either side that she straps her guns or her swords to. So once I've mapped that out, I'm going to take that red face and body paint and just fill in the whole front panel of my chest to create the clothing. Next, I'm going to take a black face and body paint and a fine detailing brush. Looking at a reference photo from the recent Deadpool movie, the eye shape is quite unique. The easiest way I found to do it was to paint on 2 diamonds at the same time, so they were nice and symmetrical. Then I'm just going to do a diagonal line on either side, and again I'm just painting it at the same time so it can get them as even as possible. Once you've got the base of the eyes done, then you can drag that diagonal line into the inner corner of your eyes, then move on to the rest of the eye shape. So I'm starting down the bottom with a thicker brush, and I'm just going to map out 2 straight lines, then connect up all of the dots. After I've done that and I'm happy with the shape, I'm just going to fill in the whole entire area all the way around my eyelids as well, right up into my lash line. Using that same black, I'm going to start painting the sides of my costume on. So this is going to be the sleeves of the outfit that I'm wearing. I'm only going to paint that down to my elbow because I'm going to paint my forearms red. So you want to fill that in nice and dark and pigmented because this does need to look like clothing. I'm then going to paint the two little connecting lines down from the diamond shapes on my face, and then I'm going to draw on the little choker that is on the costume as well. Then I'm going to connect the top of the diamonds up to the back of my hair. It's not really going to go anywhere, but I'm just going to go as far back as I can see. Then I'm just going to further define the little points that the lines are coming out of, and you can even clean them up a little bit with some red face and body paint as well. Taking some brown body paint, I'm going to be applying that where we've left the areas blank for the harnesses or the straps on the costume, and then I'm just going to fill that in a little bit streaky so it gives it a little bit more texture as well. With that fine detailing brush, I'm going to outline the top of the mask. I'm not going to be doing the jawline yet because I'm going to be applying some foundation later on. So I'm just going to be redefining those lines and painting a thin line over the top of my nose and the top of the mask. Moving on to the harnesses, I'm going to map out the little overlapping leather section. Then I'm going to thinly outline the whole entire harness area as well. With that fine detailing brush, I'm just going to thin down the top of the harness a little bit because I thought it's going to be tapering off over my shoulders. It needs to be a little bit thinner than how I originally mapped it out. Once that is all dry, I'm then moving on to foundation. I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me and I'm just going to buff that into my mouth area that is showing to create more of a flawless and airbrushed look. Then you need to set that with your regular face powder. I'm going to be using my Australis Fresh and Flawless, and I'm going to densely pack that on with a brush. Once your foundation is done, you can take that black body paint and finely outline the edges of your mask. Then you want to take some type of a matte black eyeshadow and pack that on all of the areas where you're going to crease. You mainly want to focus that right underneath your lower lash line and on top of your lid as well. You can also pop some on the top of your eyebrows so they're not too shiny. I'm then going to use that same eyeshadow to start shading and defining things. I'm going to apply that down the back of the harness to give some shadow coming from the back of my shoulders, and then just a little bit of shadow from where the overlapping belt buckle is going to be sitting. To create the buckle itself, you're going to need some type of a shiny metallic product. I'm going to be using this grease paint from the Clara palette, and I'm going to be putting two little dots there for little bumps of the buckle, and then I'm going to be drawing two symmetrical lines on either side to map out where the buckle is going to sit. I want this to look three-dimensional and I want the buckle to actually wrap around the harness, so I'm going to extend the lines a little bit further past the edges of the harness, and then I'm going to wrap that around the base to kind of make it look like it's sitting behind and then it's sitting on top. By the way guys, if you're enjoying this Lady Deadpool tutorial, please subscribe for more videos and give this video a very big thumbs up if you like it. To clean up the shape, just take some black face and body paint, and then you can also outline the edges of the buckle as well to give it more of a defined shape. I decided to make the front panel of the costume straight, so I just drew two straight lines going up to the belt buckle and filled them in with black, so then that looks like it's part of the shoulder pieces that we've painted. For the costume design of the chest, I kind of made it up. I was looking at a few reference photos, but I just went with what I thought looked flattering for my Lady Deadpool, so I created a straight line with two diagonal ones, then two little parallel lines to make it look like a zipper, then two more diagonal lines, so that would kind of accentuate the shape because I'm going to be drawing on some little boobs as well. So I'm then going to draw on some cleavage onto the suit to make it look like, obviously, Lady Deadpool because she has quite big boobs in the comic. So then I'm going to pop on some false lashes and mascara, but I didn't bother showing you the footage because as you guys can see, you can't even tell that I'm wearing lashes right now. I'm going to move on to shading, so I'm going to take a fluffy brush and some of that matte black eyeshadow. I'm going to lightly buff that in areas to make it look a little bit more sparse and a little bit more dirty. When it comes to shading, I'm going to apply that matte black eyeshadow all around the border of the neck and all around that little cuff choker that I have to really give it some shading and some depth. You can kind of pop this wherever you want. I'm never really too specific when I'm applying shading, so just in the little corners and crevices of the costume, and then you can kind of tap that out and blend it out with your finger as well. And then of course you need to shade in some cleavage, so I'm going to be just applying some of that black shadow densely in the center of my chest and then buffing that out as I get towards the edges of the boob shape. To highlight, I'm going to take a white cream paint, and this is from Ben Nye. I'm going to lightly apply that on the tops of my boobs, and this is going to give it more of a three-dimensional look. Once I've applied that and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to lightly tap that out. I'm going to repeat the same step by applying some highlight and blending it out with my fingers to wherever I feel like it's necessary to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Where I've added some shade, I need to add some highlight as well to bring that forward. After that, I'm going to move on to the face, so I'm going to highlight by drawing 2 straight lines down either side of the tops of my mask, and then I'm going to do 2 little lines pretty much over the top of my eyebrows going into the inner corner of my eyes. This is going to create that really three-dimensional kind of diamond shape that he has going on. I'm then going to really thinly outline the border of the eye shape, and this is going to look like stitching and some slight highlighting as well. Once I've applied all of the highlight, I'm then just going to go back and forth between blending it and adding a little bit more until I get to the place where I'm happy that I feel like it's nice and softly blended, but it's also highlighted enough that it's going to stand out and make it look three-dimensional. Then I finally took my hair out of my bun, and I wanted to quickly tell you guys, for these swords that I had on my back, they were just pieces of cardboard that I wrapped in black masking tape, and then I sticky taped them to my back. So it was super dodgy, but it really completed the look. For my eyes, I'm going to take a white eyeliner and I'm going to heavily tightline my bottom waterline to really open up the eyes. It's really going to help for when I pop in my whiteout contacts as well. I decided that I had to paint one of my arms because it has tattoos, but then I thought I might as well just do both to make it look like more of a costume. So once I did that, this is the completed look if you guys are happy to not apply contacts. I feel like it is still super cool, but once you pop in your contacts, it really just brings it to the next level. I only had these ones with my pupil showing. The white mesh contacts that I had were out of date. So this is the completed look, guys. Tell me what you think. Are you a fan of this Lady Deadpool look? I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give this video a very big thumbs up. If you recreate any of my videos, please tag me on Instagram because I would absolutely love to see your work and your recreations. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.